total now on to 66 for 1 in over number 8. But he slashes at that over third man and it clears the rope. I think that would be 6. Umpire Butler now signals. So 6 to Bertil. It was outside the awesome, gave him width, and he threw the bat of it. It peeled off the outside edge and flew over third man, clearing the fence. He goes on to 20, and the total now on to 72. 72 for 1. We're in over number 8. So the run rate increasing gradually. And he's whipping that out to mid-wicket. Who fields on the bounce. Edwards was covering grounds, couldn't get there. And Descartes not happy with the effort. But Larry Edwards not risking himself. And just allowed it to drop in front of him and picked it up on the bounce. The total goes on to 73. And Bertel goes on to 21. So Anil, who is on 50, comes back into strike. And he's whipping that out to square leg. Hodge takes a beautiful catch out on the square leg boundary. Diving in front of us right here. And Anil makes his way back. It was whipped off the pads in the air. Hodge judged it well, diving forward and claiming the catch. And he goes back for 50. And the breakthrough that Windwards wanted. It's now 73 for 2. And finally, they have broken that partnership. A very productive one for Nepal between Bertil and Anil. And Descartes now taking the catch, as you can see on the monitor. 3 and 4 sixes. And we can see now. That's number 17. Rohit. scooping it over the fine leg region and getting himself a boundary. He goes on to 26, and the total now on to 80, 81, 81 for 2, win over number 9. But it is driving out to extra cover, wants a single. A shout of no as Rohit was backing up. And luckily for him, he gets back into his crease. Total remains 81. He's driving beautifully, square of the wicket, 4 runs. You can see it was pitched up and he opened the face of the bat, drove it between the extra cover fielder and the sweeper on the boundary. And he picks up 4. So it's now 85. 85 for 2. And with that boundary, but it goes on to 24. Kenny plays it out to short extra cover. They want a single. Larry was a scuffering ground. Couldn't keep it up. Couldn't pick it up. Total goes on to 85. So at the end of over number 9, it's 85 for 2. 25 to Bertil. It's right. In fact, it's right on 9 and Bertil on 24. So it's Captain Rohit Patel who will take strike. See? You know, he's at the non-strikers end. So Bertil has been there from the inception. Started the innings. But he's still there. He's lifting that out too long off. This would drop inside the boundary and it goes across the ropes. And that's forward. Mid-off being up. Deliberate shot there by Bertil to a delivery that was pitched up. Where the wicket. Long one for the man on the boundary. They will come back. And tidied up there by the fielder. So 2 more to the total. And Bertil trying to being blocked by the tree, not getting his individual scores yet as he's working it out to mid-wicket, who races off the boundary. Larry Edwards picks up, keeps it down to a single. And the total now on to 93. 93 for 2. As Bertil signals to the pavilion for some water. It's a pretty hot day. And Captain Rohit comes back into strike and open the face to backward point. Melis is there and there is no run. Rohit looks rather busy. He's on 16. And it's soft hands out to extra cover. And he gets a single. Total now on to 94. 94 for 2. That Rohit, he moves on to 18. Being blocked a bit by the scorer. But Bertil, who should be on 25, face the final delivery of the 10th over. He advances and lifts it out to mid-off. Long on, he's taken. He mistimed it. He was looking to go over mid-off, inside edge. And long on, coming off the boundary up near Lewis, took well-judged catch. Bertil goes back. And it's now 94 for 3. And disappointing end there for Bertil. But success for the Windwards. And the Windwards will be very happy. So it's Bortel now making his way back. Earlier we see Asif. Third man. And Bayam now signals leg buys. Total on to 98. It's 98 for 3. So Ned wants to make further inroads for the Windwards. Beautifully played, but well fielded by the Scartet finally, but it was well played by Roy, the captain. Just swiveled and traveled very quickly, but Descartes was in the right position, picked it up on the bounce. Total remains on 98. So far, a pretty tidy over by Ned. Sure, he'll want to finish very strongly. Okay, gets a Yorker, and there was Roy just digging it out and getting a single out to mid wicket. He goes on to 19. The total now on to 99. So at the end of over number 11, in 99 for 3, it's going at 9 runs and over. Let me see Asif Hooper, change of end. Started out from the southern end. Now he's been shifted to the northern end. And Red Padel, captain of Nepal, he's on 19. Jura, who has recently joined him, he's on 2. And it's going to be Rohit Padel on strike. So there's some players in the distance. There is a long on, a deep mid wicket, long off, a backward point on the fence. Sweeps by Rohit out to deep mid wicket. Descarte comes off the boundary, keeps it down to a single. So 100 comes up for Nepal in 11.1 overs. And Rohit goes on to 20. Jura goes back, forces it out to extra cover. There is no run. Quicker delivery. He had to come down pretty quickly on that. Hustled him a bit there. Striving is out caught. You can hear it from here. Driving beautifully taken there by Douglas. And he went up immediately. That was pitched up outside the outside. He was driving, getting an outside edge. Douglas took it gleefully. And there it is. The disappointment there by Jura as he makes his way back. So he goes back for 2. 100 for 4 here in Nepal. Batting first here at Park Hill as the players seize the opportunity to refresh themselves. So too the umpires. A pretty hot day here at Park Hill. Bright sunshine. Looks like Colbin makes his way out. To join Captain Patel.
One view.
So this time a left-hander comes out to do battle. So we have a left-hand right-hand combination. And Hooper playing in front of his home crowd. This is his home village. Picking up that scalp in his second spell. And he'll bowl over the wicket to the left-handed Gulshan. Gulshan goes back and gives it out to backward point, and there was Captain Melius moving smartly to his right. Picks up, keeps it down to no run. And he's forward defensive. He works it out to short mid-wicket. Hooper moving smartly to his right. Again keeping it down to no run. So tight over here by Asif Hooper, and a successful one indeed as well. I think just 1 run coming off the over so far. And he goes back, works it out to square leg. They go through for 1. They will settle for that as the total goes on to 101 for 4 at the completion of over number 12. And a good over by Asif Hooper. 2 runs coming in that over, and a wicket as well. And we can see Melius now having a word with Hooper. Perhaps Ned will continue. So there's Gulshan Cheha, who is on 1. He will take strike. And it's going to be Ned. To continue. So Gaishan having taken guard. He's on one, looks around the field. As Ned skips in. He's taken on the body. This camper 2 for 1. And in the end, good running there by Captain Padel, just shadowing it, just allowing Ned to go past him. And that was taken on the pad. The scamper through for a leg by. And total now on to 102. 102 for 4. So Ned and now ball to Captain Rohit Padel. It's down the trap, drive square. Hodge, nice piece of work by Hodge, keeps it down to a single. And they're going through for a second. The return comes in, he's out, run out. Not smart cricket there on the part of Gaishan. Looking to steal a single. And just lobbed it to Douglas. And he was run out by some distance. He lobbed it to Ned the bowler. And he was run out by some distance. So 102 now for 5, 103 for 5 rather. And certainly the win was pulling things back here after a pretty good start by Nepal. And some rebuilding would have to be done on the part of Nepal. This is over number 13, 102 for 5. And let's see who joins his captain. Airy joins his captain. And so Airy in the first game really seeing his team through. Coming in at number 7, played a very good innings indeed. And saw his team home. Seems to favor the ball coming onto the bat. And there's down the leg side. As Padel looking to whip that down the leg side. Misses, white signal by umpire Bayam. And the total now on to 104. 104 for 5. Over number 13 in progress. In lovely sunshine here at the parking playing field. And not a lot of breeze. He's driving square down to third man. Otney Lewis is there. Picks up. Keeps it down to a single. He goes on to 22. And Airy, who is yet to get off the mark, comes into strike. Now he's looking to take guard from umpire Bayam, who's just looking to the pavilion. Now he has given the right away for Airy, who now marks his crease. 100. As he's driving, was captain Rohit looking to run that down to third man, and he misses, and Douglas taking it, standing some 15 or so meters back. There is no run. So Ned has been rather tidy in this his spell, and he works it out to mid-wicket. Mid-wicket comes off the boundary. Just a single. Total now on to 108. 108 at the end of over number 13. 108 for 5. Good tidy over by Ned. And really these matches before the World Cup here in the Caribbean. T20 World Cup slated for the 1st to the 29th of June Some 20 teams will be in that competition. What comes into the attack, and that was played very short, smart, out to short extra cover, and this camper through for a single. So Captain Padel rotating the strike, he goes on to 27, and Airy, who is on 5, comes into strike. He cuts and beats backward point. Hodge has some running to do. He can't get there. He goes across the ropes now for 4. And after some time now, a boundary. And the total now on to 118. 118 for 5 in over number 15. Is it out squared? Millias covering grounds, not picking up cleanly, and they threw for 1. With that single, he goes into double figures. And the total goes on to 119. 119. And that's single 10. And it's forward defensively that lob to a short. Not afforded that luxury. So Larry Edwards will continue. It's a swinging that out too long on the bounce. A single. And the total now went to 120. 120 for 5. And Captain Padel goes on to 27. I'll wait on the scorer. Are we looking to run that down to third man? Misses, taken cleanly by the keeper, who removes the bails, but the back foot was well grounded. And over number 15 comes to an end. So 28 to Padel, 8 to. Looking at the scoreboard on the far side, 10 to Airy. And it's what? 26 to Captain Patel. So Descarte would pick it up from the northern end. Has some 2 wickets to credit. So 2 out of 5 wickets that have fallen. And to Descarte, who is going to pick it up, bowling his right arm medium stuff from the northern end. So it's Captain Rohit Padel. And he works it out to mid-wicket. Rodney Lewis covering grounds, feels well, keeps it down to a single. Return comes in and overthrow there, and they're scampering through. No, I think they were looking for a second, but eventually they were scampering back to their respective creases. In fact, they got 2 runs. And so 2 to Rohit, who now moves to 28, 122. He's whipping, looking to whip that on the leg side, misses, wide signal by umpire Butler, and the total now on to 123. So 1, 2, 3 for 5. We're in over number 16. Descartes just losing his line there, and that went down the leg side. Captain Pradel might have been disappointed missing that. They can so work that out to a backward point. They go through for 1. That's all they will be. As the total goes on to 124. 124 for 5. So rotation of the strike. Here he comes back into strike. Sporting number 45 on the back of his shirt. Shadrach Descarte, St. Lucian. In the Windward Island Volcanoes, got a good delivery take on there. There was an appeal there by Descarte. Good delivery. He had inside edge into the pad. He wanted a single, but he was not there. Descarte was closing in very quickly. And we recognizing the danger. Has very quickly returned to his crease. So 124 for 5. 31 to Captain Rohit. And 10 to Airy. And he's driving that out to wide extra cover. Covers grounds, feels well. Beautiful piece of work on the boundary. And they come back for the second. Total now 126. So good piece of work by Longoff on the boundary. 126 for 5. It's working it out to mid-wicket. That would beat Hodge, that 4. Hodge looking to cover some grounds, but that was sweetly timed. And into defense it goes for 4. 130 now for 5. And 130 for 5. We're in over number 16. Airy, who is on 14 according to our scorer, in. I gets a good delivery. Once a single, it's not there. So good finish there by Descarte. 130 for 5 at the end of over number 16. So some 4 overs remaining. And it would be pretty interesting to see how Melius use his bowlers in these fading overs. We can see Larry Edwards to continue. He will bowl over number 17. I think there's Kavem Hodge, who still has 2 overs in the bank. There's his Otney Lewis, the off spinner, who has not yet bowled a delivery, so not likely, but still Redhead, who also has 2 overs, so he has options. But it's going to be Captain Rohit Patel to take strike. Larry Edwards is going to be his final over. So Captain would want to push on from here. As Edwards would be between the umpire and the stumps. And he scoops that over from leg. Long run here for Redhead, who pulls it back inside the boundary. They come back for the second. Once a third, it's not there. And that was Captain there scooping that over short fine leg and getting himself 2. He goes on to 33. The total now on to 132 for 5. We're in over number 17. The swing top edge, that would clear the fence. It does. That over mid-wicket for 6. Sweep shot, and they went high over mid-wicket for 6. Total now on to 138. And Captain Padel goes on to 39. 138 for 6. 39. So putting pressure on the bowler very early in the over. So he had some width outside the off stump. Ned would want to correct that. And again, he opens up and guides it down to third man. They go through for one, they look for the second, and they will get that comfortably. And total now on to 157. Padel goes on to 46. Seem to favor that offside. He opens up and open the face of the bat and running it down to wide third man. So 157 for 5. And he's driving again out between the backward point and the wide third man. They come back for the second. The return comes in. Not a good one. And 2 more to the captain. He goes on to 48. 159. Looking to be very aggressive. The running in between the wickets has been very, very good indeed. Areas on 26. 159 for 5. We are in over number 18. So 2 overs remaining. He's looking to scoop that over third man. Misses, taken cleanly by Douglas standing back. And there is no run. So a precious dot goes into the scorebook. 159 for 5. He opens up. Good piece of work on the third man boundary and keeps it down to a single. Larry Edwards on the third man boundary. Big effort. And you can hear the shouts of congratulations. 160 now for 5. So with one delivery remaining in this, the 18th over. As Airy comes in to strike. Off stump, cartwheeling out of the ground. Yorker length delivery. Airy FC in a big drive. Misses and the off stump went walking. Success that the win was needed at this stage. Breaking that partnership. Airy makes his way back for a good supporting innings here to his captain. And Nepal now 160 for 6. 160 for 6. Captain Padel is still there. And Sampal Kami making it out to join his captain, going in at number 8. So Sampal joining his captain. His captain is on 49. Sampal will not have strike. Comes Redhead. Yorker Land takes it out, not able to stop it in his follow through, and this camper through for one. And the total goes on to 162. So good delivery there by Redhead, right up in the black hole. And Sampal had to dig it out. So 162 for 6. He's looking to swing. That beats the keeper down to the boundary. That's 4 wides. I would think. Yes, the wide come signal here by umpire. So 5 runs added to the total. 167. So there is put the 50 coming in of 35 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6 in his half century. So Redhead wants to tighten up. 167 for 6. And he's driving out too long off it, over the fence, 1-2 bounces across the ropes for 4. And so Padel continues to push on. He moves on to 54. The total now on to 171. 171 for 6. So Sampal. Padel, who is on strike. And he's driving out to mid-off. Catch taken. And there was Ned at mid-off. He was driving straight into the hands of Ned, who takes the catch. 171 for 7. Diving catch there by Ned. And success on the part of Windwards. He makes his way back and out. One delivery remaining in this, the penultimate over. Number 19.